the very best places to eat on Sanibel Island. Hi, I'm Megan Murad, a licensed New York City tour guide, but I'm also a born and bred Floridian, and I have been coming on yearly trips to Sanibel Island for as long as I can remember. And I love food, so I have painstakingly researched the very best places to eat on Sanibel Island. So now I'm excited to share those findings with you, as well as an interview with my very favorite chef on the island, Melissa Donahue of Sweet Melissa's. So stay tuned and make sure that you hit subscribe so you never miss a travel tip or trick.
Yeah, muffin talk. Ooh, muffin talk. Muffin talks, bringing healing to those who need them most.
There are so many good restaurants on Sanibel that it's hard to choose a favorite. So I'm going to share with you some of the restaurants that my family and I return to year after year after year. There's family-friendly restaurants and there's fine dining restaurants. So let's start with the family-friendly restaurants. The Lazy Flamingo has a super chill, laid-back vibe. It's a place where both adults and kids will feel totally happy. Adults can sit down and drink a beer, while kids will be equally as happy munching on French fries. And it's so chill and laid back that you could come in after a day at the beach or a day fishing with a sea salt in your hair, sit down and feel totally at home. I love to order the grilled grouper sandwich, the conch chowder, the conch fritters, and the super fresh oysters. The Lazy Flamingo's motto is, if it were any fresher, we'd be serving it underwater. Mozzaluna is a family-friendly Italian restaurant, and in fact, it's so family-friendly that the tablecloths are actually made out of paper, and they give you crayons so you can color on them, and you can color beautiful artistic masterpieces. The Mozzaluna menu is very extensive, but they do say if you don't see something on the menu that you like, make an entree. So they definitely take personal requests. I love to order their pizzas. They do say that their pizzas are personal size, but I usually have slices left over, which is actually perfect because then I'll take them home to wherever I'm staying, put it in the refrigerator, and then heat it up for lunch after a morning spent swimming on the Gulf. Mudbugs is a family-friendly Cajun restaurant. When we went, there was live music that everyone was bopping to. Kids will be delighted with the giant dishes. Adults will feel totally at home as well. They also have really giant cocktails there. Mudbugs is known for their gumbo and their etouffee and their grilled oysters. And don't forget to order the beignets for dessert. Moving on to fine dining. The Old Captiva House is technically on the island of Captiva, not the island of Sanibel. It's a very short drive to the north. The Old Captiva House is classic fine dining at its best. The best thing to order is the Chiapino. It's like fireworks in your mouth. And I got the scallops topped with lobster and crab. It was out of this world. And for dessert, I got the chocolate pave, which was the most decadent, rich chocolate dessert that I've ever had. Also, the Old Captiva House has a glorious view of the sunset. So if you're looking for great sunset views while you dine, that's the place to go. Cello is possibly the classiest restaurant on the island. When we went, there was live music. Actually, every time we've gone, there's been live music, which provides the perfect dining atmosphere, whether you're on a romantic date or dining with friends. And every single dish was exquisite. Standout dishes included the calamari, the duck, and the sea bass with pork and Asian pear dumplings. Cello is one of the best dining experiences that you will get on Sanibel. Cello's wait staff is super friendly and knowledgeable. Special shout out to Jose, who was our waiter. He was first class. In addition to the great restaurants on Sanibel, my mom and I have a favorite chocolate shop. It's not technically on Sanibel, but let me show you. Whenever my mom and I come to Sanibel, we always stop here at Norman Love Confections. It's a chocolate shop, and they have some of the best chocolate in the world, and I'm not exaggerating. I consider myself a chocolate expert. They have all sorts of interesting flavors. My two favorites are key lime, which is a white chocolate with a key lime flavor, and a chocolate coconut, which is chocolate with coconut inside. They also have baked goods, so my mom and I always stock up on cookies. We keep them in our kitchen in Sanibel, and then after we have a long day of swimming, we eat the cookies, and it is perfect. Two restaurants I want to mention that I didn't get to on this trip, but they also always top my list of favorite restaurants on Sanibel, include the Mad Hatter, which gets fantastic views of the Sanibel sunset, and also the Green Flash. The Green Flash has one of my favorite desserts on either Sanibel or Captiva, which is their key lime pie. It's actually a frozen key lime pie that has almost a sorbet texture. Super good, definitely going to visit next year. My favorite restaurant on Sanibel is Sweet Melissa's. Chef Melissa Donahue was actually a nominee for the James Beard Award, and one of the things that makes Sweet Melissa's so special is how she puts together interesting flavors and textures. Everything is so surprising. It's not stuff that you would see on normal menus, so my mom and I usually order a bunch of small plates and we share them. Standout dishes include the fish stew, which Melissa once tried to take off the menu, but people protested because it is so delicious. The beef tartare, the grilled octopus, the mussels, and then the perfect ending to any meal. It's like fireworks in your mouth. The key lime bread pudding. This dessert is seriously one of the best desserts I've ever had. It's standout, the perfect way to end any meal, or possibly if you're having a last meal on Sanibel, it will leave the best taste in your mouth. I was also lucky enough to get to interview Melissa Donahue, so I'm so excited to share with you and the rest of the world what makes Sweet Melissa's so special. So right now I'm fangirling a little bit because I am at my favorite restaurant on Sanibel Island, which is Sweet Melissa's, and I am here with the chef, Melissa Donahue, and yeah,
welcome.
I really am fangirling. I was just wondering if you could tell me what you think makes Sweet Melissa's the place to eat on Sanibel Island.
We are a scratch kitchen. We do everything from scratch. We try and start with the absolute best, product that we have, or that I can get, and really not do a lot of crazy things to it. But it really is, over the years. I've been open now. I'm going to be 14 years old in this coming February, and I just happen to have accumulated an amazing staff. Like, the two guys I have in the kitchen are fantastic. My bartender does, and the manager do such a great job at the wine list, the craft cocktails that he does. So it really is like a team effort. Like, everyone is sort of like bought into it. And I really do think that that's what, has made us successful for so long. And I really, I try to approach it as I want people to feel as though they're coming to my home for dinner. And that's how the servers approach it. It's very casual. It's not very, even though we have the white tablecloths, we try not have it not be very stuffy, and people have a really good time when they're here.
Yeah, every time my mom and I have come, the servers have been so nice. Like, we feel like they become our best friends on Sanibel.
Yes. I have them, you know what I mean? They do. They buy into the concept. They're like, we're all proud of what we're doing, and I think it shows. And it also, my staff has been here for a very long time. That's, so that's one of the things in the industry is hard, is to have staff stay, and the longevity is definitely been huge.
That's actually also just a really cool pro tip. Since I do work as a tour guide in New York City, I'm always trying to give people tourist tips and tricks. And something that my mom and I discovered is that when we come here and we ask the waiters, what are your favorite things to do? What is the weather like? They're always so happy to share that. So I would say you need to come here on your first night.
Yes. And we change the specials often, so.
Yes, and speaking of the specials, so for me, a magical night at Sweet Melissa's includes the fish stew.
Yes.
Which I have been told that you took off the menu once and there was picketing.
Yes.
And So my mom and I got that. We came on our first night. Like, I practice what I preach. Like, we come on our first night, and we often come multiple times during the rest of the week that we stay here. But we were wondering if you could tell us, like, some of the secret ingredients, maybe, like what flavors we're tasting in that fish stew that makes it so good.
I think there's about 25 different ingredients in there.
We were like, there's tomato.
There's tomato and tomato water and tomato concasse. There's saffron wine. We make our chorizo in-house. There's fennel, shallots, garlic, a little bit of lemon juice, fish stock, and then we top it with a Pernod aioli. And of course, obviously, the mussels, clams, scalla, all of the seafood cooked in that broth is what makes it so good.
It is so good. Oh my goodness, it is so good. So you were nominated for a James Beard Award.
Yes.
So, like, it's a huge deal in the culinary world.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if you can tell my friends who maybe aren't as into the culinary world, like what the James Beard Award is and what it means to you to have been nominated.
They call it sort of like the Academy Awards of the culinary world. And I always paid attention to who is winning the awards. They do, obviously a chef of the year, but they do it regionally, South, Midwest. I was not one of the semifinalists for Best Chef of the South. And if you look at the list that, of the nominees, to be like on that list is just, these are like, your girl, like I'm like a family, like I like follow these guys and read their cookbooks and stuff, and I'm like, oh wait, I'm on the same list with them. Oh my gosh, it was never ever expected it. Never went sort of like chasing it, or never even occurred. I'm on a teeny tiny island in South Florida. What is James Beard? How do they know how to get here, or how do they even know about me? But so it was definitely, all of us, again, were like so happy and so excited. It was definitely like a pat on the back for all of the years of like a lot of really, really hard work.
It's well deserved,
in
my opinion. So I'm wondering if you could tell us, like in your opinion, what the perfect dining experience would include here for you. And I guess importantly, would you recommend doing what my mom and I do, which is split all of the small plates? Or to get like a more traditional version where you have a small plate as an appetizer and then a main course?
Well, the menus, we do have like a very large small plate section, but then the entrees also doing them in half portions as well as full portions. So it really is also a small plate. So I would definitely recommend doing the the sharing thing, because you can get sort of like taste your way around the world. I have so many different like influences in my food. Like my sous chef now really likes like the Asian flair stuff, so I let him have fun and do that. I'm more of like the traditional Southern grandma type of food. So there is a lot, the menu is very eclectic and you can get a lot of different flavors. So definitely like taste your way around is the best way to do it.
Last year we had your special, which was the gumbo. One of the nights we went, and I've been to New Orleans, and I wasn't going to order the gumbo, but your waiter said, she's worked at Commander's Palace, and I was like, okay. And it was the best gumbo I've ever had.
It's it's really all about the roux. I think I usually do like an 8 to 12 hour roux on there, because that's all good gumbo is. If it's not, doesn't have a good roux, forget about it.
We actually
whatever you want in there, it's not going to be good.
We actually got an extra bowl of it to take home the next day because it was so good. We're just like, we need more gumbo. So then the final question is, what do you want people who come to eat at Sweet Melissa's to take away with them after they leave?
I just want it to be, because usually a lot of people are on vacation, so I want it to be one of the highlights of their vacation. That's really is. It's like, oh my God, we went, it was so fun. It was, to be an experience and a memory. And, with that, a lot of times people come for birthdays and anniversaries, and we want that, we want them to go away and, say to themselves, oh my God, that was a great time, or oh my God, that was a special experience.
I think that, we come every year multiple times, so you definitely succeed when it comes to me and my mom. I think that if you come to Sanibel and visit Sweet Melissa's, you will be equally rave reviews as I am. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
I hope that you enjoyed this guide to Sanibel dining. Did I miss one of your favorite restaurants? If so, comment below and let me know. Also, make sure that you hit subscribe so you never miss a delicious travel tip or trick. I have tons of videos, a lot of them about New York City, and a lot of them just about how to get your best travel experience around the world. So make sure that you hit subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the Florida sunshine.